There's a few reasons people modify their training details. Number one, if they're training with a group, because group workouts can be challenging. If you show up to a group workout and you're doing your own training, in my mind, there's really not necessarily an advantage of doing that with a group unless people in the group are doing the training details that you have set for your own personal fitness and progression towards your race. Usually if an athlete I coach is training with a group, if they're not in their race specific phase of training, the group details is just to enjoy the ride. If they go hard, go hard. If they go easy, they go easy. Gather the data, report back in their training log, and let's see how it goes. And then I'll modify the plan moving forward based on what they did in that group workout. Number two, if you're modifying your training, it has to do with specific terrain and terrain management. So learning how to maintain a certain cadence at various power outputs on uphills, downhills, headwinds, tailwinds is really important when we're talking about terrain management. If you have a workout and the workout details call for an easy recovery ride in zone 1 and zone 2, and you happen to choose a course because maybe you're with a group that has a lot of hills, that can make training in a zone 1, zone 2 intensity a little bit more difficult if you're not used to riding hills and how to manage the terrain and the gear ratios specific to biking, that you are going to go into zone 4, zone 3 maybe a little bit due to the nature of the hill, how steep it is or how long it is, and that's okay. As long as you're not forcing yourself to go out of the recovery zone of the intention of the workout and it just so happens due to the terrain. The third reason you have to modify a workout is due to just your own personal fatigue level. Maybe the workout intention calls for 5 by 1 minute maximum efforts and then a steady lactate threshold of 10-minute interval. And when you try to do the maximum efforts, your heart rate is very high, your power is very low, and then you get to this threshold and you know what your threshold power, heart rate, pace or feels supposed to feel like, and a couple minutes into this threshold interval you're just kind of dying, you're really struggling, you're exhausted. You definitely want to modify that day and kind of call it quits and kind of maybe make it a recovery day. Move your recovery day to today, move your intensity day to tomorrow, and give it another try. Because when you try to enforce a high intensity workout, when you're quite not able to hit those numbers, sometimes it makes it more of a moderate intensity and it may show no training benefit to you at that phase of training, and your body's not going to adapt to the intensity level that it was supposed to adapt to, and there's just no point in doing it. Make the hard days hard, make the easy days easy. When you're trying to hit a certain intensity level, it's important to understand the purpose of that intensity level. Was it a zone 5 high intensity VO2 max workout intensity? Was it a threshold, tempo, endurance, or technique based workout? If you understand the purpose of the workout, it's going to help you modify the intention of the workout details. The idea of the workout details as far as length of intervals, how many intervals, what intensity the intervals are, or endurance, is to try to retain the specific duration and volume and intensity of the main set as best you can. You train with a metric such as heart rate, that'll give you feedback to how maybe you should modify a workout, either by lowering the intensity or stopping the workout altogether. Because if your rate of perceived effort is low and your heart rate is very high, that's an indication that you're fatigued and maybe you should cut back on the volume or intensity that day. Or if your rate of perceived effort is high and your heart rate's very low, that could be also an indication of fatigue and maybe you should recover, or maybe you just need to reset your heart rate zones for future workouts if that's what you want to use to monitor intensity. As you can see from my examples, modifying the workout has to do with context. If you shorten a workout, go longer, go shorter, modify the intensity higher or lower in any way, just make sure you log that in your training log, communicate that with your coach so they can help you adapt to the program moving forward. Log what you did so you can see if the intention of the workout details actually were reflected by what you did and why. And then you can make your own modifications and own adjustments by maybe flip-flopping a hard day with an easy day. Making those appropriate adjustments and adaptations will just allow you to have success in future training sessions. And I'd love to hear how you've had to adapt to the situation and had to modify workouts and what you've learned from it. Comment below, join the chatter in the T2 Endurance Facebook group, and make it a great day.